start with the name of Allah, who is the most beneficent and most gracious. Assalamu alaikum to all. I am Saifuddin Maksi with my project partner, Mr. Sagar Ali Premi. Today we are here to discuss for our final year presentation for the project of CDO-based power quality analyzer. The project supervisor is Mr. Engineer Jangir Badar Sumro and co-supervisor are Mr. Veerban and Mr. Sadakat Ali. So first of all, the question is what is power quality and what is a power quality analyzer? Power quality analyzer is simply a device which is used to measure the quality of power being provided by any utility. So there are numerous applications to this power quality analyzer. Of course, as the industries are increasing, as the generation and the sources and the conventional and unconventional ways of energy creation are increasing day by day. So in turn, the need of power quality and power quality measurements are also increasing. So there are certain indices on which power quality is measured and power quality is improved on these certain indices, in which voltage interruptions of different types, voltage sags, voltage swells, and harmonics, interharmonics, frequencies, all of these indices are used to measure and used to improve the quality of power. So why are we creating another power quality analyzer? For this, for this presentation, we have divided this presentation into 9 topics and 9 subtopics, including the introduction of the project, the literature review, problem statement, objectives of the project, methodology in creating this project, LabVIEW programming with hardware integration, the project results, and the future works and references of this project. So the introduction, I gave the introduction to the power quality analyzer. It is simply a device which is actually measuring the power quality. In old times, the power quality was measured with voltmeter, ammeter, and different types of multimeter, but they had less functionalities. They did not have storage capabilities. They were embedded devices and they lacked in many possible functions. Next. So this is a type of literature review in which we have studied about what power quality is, what are the indices, what are the thresholds. Some of the papers are from the early ages, from 90s, and some of the papers are recent, in which different new power quality analyzers have been created, which are improved, which have storage capabilities, which are high, which have embedded system, which have softwares, and which are very high in functionalities. So now in these researches, we have come to a point that we have seen LabVIEW framework. We are using LabVIEW framework based with Serio and FPGA and PowerPC. So we have combined these technologies through these research papers, and we have created our new power quality analyzer, which is improved, which is more flexible, and which is a cheaper alternative to the conventional power quality analysis. So why are we creating a new power quality analyzer if there are certain conventional power quality analyzers already present in the market? So we are proposing this compact Serio-based power quality analyzer because of these reasons. As increase in use of conventional as well as unconventional energy sources and industries are increasing day by day, in turn, the use of power quality analyzer and power quality meters are also increasing. So we need to commercialize this Serio-based power quality analyzer, as it will be a cheaper alternative and it will be a easier to use interface, and it will have more functionalities which will be easier for the layman and also for the engineers. Now the traditional power quality analyzers are lacking a lot of functionalities. Like we have a Fluke 43B. It has a storage capability of almost 500 screenshots. But with PowerPC, CompactView, and FPGA, our proposed power quality analyzer will be faster, it will be more flexible, it will be easier to use, and it will have more functionalities. So this is a comparison between our traditional power quality analyzer, which for the reference we have used the Fluke 48B, and for our Serio-based power quality analyzer. So for the software and device we are using, the traditional power quality analyzer has a microprocessor and operating system which is actually like an embedded device. It is a handheld device, so it will have less functionalities, of course. And for our serial-based power quality analyzer, we have our PC, our laptops, and our operating systems. Like it is a firmware operating system, but for our serial-based power quality analyzer, we are using the LabVIEW framework and our operating system. So these are some of the functionalities in which our serial-based power quality analyzer is quite and again than our traditional power quality analyzer. As for the energy measurement, the traditional power quality analyzer in the market does not propose the energy measurement, but our serial-based power quality analyzer, it will. So the price range is quite high for the traditional power quality analyzer. It is almost 36 or 37,000 dollars, and our serial-based power quality analyzer along with the PC, it costs only around $2,000. So traditional power quality analyzer does not have multitasking, it does not have the data logging, and it only can create 20 screenshots of the results, and it cannot store the result for a longer time, so it does not support the data logging. But for our serial-based power quality analyzer, it has multitasking, it has data logging, it has more than 5,000, or it can be increased also, a screenshot capability, or it can also record the power fluctuations and other types of interruption for the system. Next. So what are the objectives of our project? So we have created this project only for the single phase system due to time constraint of COVID-19. So these are the objectives of the project. So we have measured single phase quantities on balanced and unbalanced load to depict what will be the result like on our serial-based power quality analyzer, analysis of voltage, current and frequency, active reactive power, types of energy measurement, harmonics, interharmonics, their spectrums, voltage sags and swells, and in the end we have created a system to log our data into Excel, into Word, or into any other required form. Next. Now for the methodology, we are using a compact trio system. Now the compact trio comprises of FPGA, our power PC, our input-output modules. Each input-output module is directly connected to the FPGA compact trio and to the utility. Now the both power PC and FPGA are programmed in the LabVIEW software, LabVIEW firmware software. Our algorithm contains different types of blocks, structures, regulators, and supporting system of the LabVIEW system. And if any block diagram or any supporting system is not available, we have programmed it through the visual programming of our LabVIEW. Now the whole algorithm receives data samples from our input-output modules and calculates these parameters including RMS value, frequencies, voltage sags, voltage swells, and different types of interruptions. Now, after all this, data is stored in the local storage, or it can also be stored in any of the cloud. Now, this is the whole system which I described in the methodology. So, the power supply is coming from the grid. We have a point of common coupling to which we have connected our measurement modules, input-output modules, and our loads, which concludes RLC load bank. Now this is a serial system which contains FPGA, and our human machine interface, which we are calling our power PC, is also connected to the serial. Now NI voltage measurement and NI current measurement will acquire the data from the point of common coupling through the load and through the utility. Now human machine interface will allow it to run the algorithm, and now the algorithm will show the display of the real time waveforms. It will show the calculated values of voltage and current. It will show the calculated values of power and energy measurements, harmonics and interharmonics, and our acquired fault correction. And at the end of all these indices of power quality, we will store the data. And we in this project have used the type of Excel sheet. All this data will be stored in the Excel sheet through the data logging module of the LabVIEW firmware. So for the next part, we are going to discuss about our performance of our power quality analyzer on different load. First of all, we will discuss about the load, simple load, which is a 100-watt bulb. For the next part of our presentation, we will be doing the result analysis of our serial-based power quality analyzer, as we can see, these are the preliminary results of our stereo-based power quality analyzer. We have used the load type of 100-watt bulb for the initial process. As we can see, we are seeing the peak current, RMS current, mean DC current, negative peak current, and its waveform as well. We are also showing the frequency, as this is all for the current waveform and current measurements. Now this graph is for the voltage waveform and the peak voltage, RMS voltage, mean DC voltage, and negative peak voltage. For this purpose, we are also comparing it with the traditional power quality analyzer. For the purpose of showing these are our stereo-based power quality analyzer have many functions which the traditional power quality analyzer does not give. So with all these multi functionalities, we can compare it with the traditional power quality analyzer, which is Fluke 43B. As we can see in the single screen, it is only showing the voltage, the frequency, and the current. We are showing on the single screen all of the all the current measurements like peak current, RMS current, mean DC current, negative current, and all the voltage measurements like peak voltage, RMS voltage, mean DC voltage, and negative voltage. So we have multi-functionality, and we are giving more more accurate result, as we will see above. Next. So this graph actually shows how we are calculating the energy measurement like active power and reactive power. So in the start, we will acquire the voltage and current from the NI cards. So we will calculate the phase difference in degrees. We will have our voltage and current. So from the voltage and current, we will have apparent power. Now from the phase and degrees, we will have cos theta and sin theta. So we will multiply as per the thumb rule or as per the formula. We will have our active power in watts and our reactive powers and VAR. So this was all about the active and reactive power and how we are calculating it in the LabVIEW firmware through the formula. Next. So this is the analysis of active and reactive and apparent power through our stereo-based power quality analysis. The load type remains the same for now. As we can see, we have the power values. This is our stereo-based power quality analyzer, and this is the Fluke 43B. So I can show that the active power measurement like 101.164 watts, and we have here 0.09 kilowatt, or we can say it is approximately 1 kilowatt. So we can see that 101.164, our stereo-based power quality analyzer is much more sensitive than the traditional power quality analyzer. Similarly, we have apparent power, which is also more than the traditional power quality analyzer due to more sensitivity. We have reactive power, and we can also show the power factor. So we can see an apparent difference between the results and sensitivities of our stereo-based power quality analyzer and the Fluke 43B, which is a traditional power quality analyzer available in the market. This is the harmonic analysis or FFT magnitude and THD of our system. These THDs and FFT magnitudes are calculated as per the IEEE requirements, IEEE thresholds. So by connecting the 100 watt bulb, we can see the current THD at 2.554 and the voltage THD at 2.43, which is quite less than our thresholds. So this is the normal condition. We can see the FFT magnitude, which obviously the traditional power quality does not show, and voltage FFT magnitude, which also is not in the traditional power quality analyzer. So these are the graph. These are the measurements of our stereo-based power quality analyzer, and this is the fundamental frequency calculated from the current FFT and the voltage FFT. So voltage THD and current THD can also be shown in the graphical form like this and this. So we have just here numericalized the values of current and voltage THD in percentages. Next. This is the comparison of current and voltage THD with the Fluke 43B. As we have already seen that our stereo-based power quality analyzer is much more sensitive. So this is the comparison. We have 3.2 THD. And our power quality, stereo-based power quality analyzer, it had more sensitivity, so it was showing the value to the more to the points. we have RMS, and we have percentage THD, as well as in current harmonics and in voltage harmonics. So the advantage of our serial-based power quality analyzer, we were showing our graph more accurately and our values were more accurate with comparison with Fluke 43B. For the next part, we have connected 100-watt bulb with also an induction motor, so we can depict the nature of our power quality, serial-based power quality analyzer with non-linear nodes. For the next part, Sagar Ali will come and Sagar Ali will come and tell more about the 100-watt bulb and induction motor load. Thank you.
These are the results when we are injecting the induction load. So this is a current waveform, distortion waveform because of the non-linearity of the load. These are the peak current. This is the RMS current from our quantities. This is the peak voltage, and this is a voltage waveform shown. This is a comparison basically, as we already said in our objective that we are comparing with our results with Fluke 43 power quality analyzer. As you can already see, this is a RMS voltage from Fluke, and this is a frequency, and this is a current from when we are injecting our induction load. As you can see, there is no difference between our Parkour solution in Fluke and Fluke 43B. This is the power values, and these are the components that we are measuring. This is the active power, this is the pairing power, and this is the reactive power, and the power factor. And this is for the comparison with our traditional meter, as we already see. There is a small change because of the Fluke 43 we use a talent meter, and this is our Parkour solution use IO modules. This is a harmonic analysis. These are the components that we are considering for the harmonic analysis. This is a current FFT magnitude, and this is a voltage FFT magnitude. As we can already see, there's a numerous change between current THD has increases because of the nonlinear load. This is for our fundamental frequency, for the analysis of the fundamental frequency that are 50. Please. This is a comparison. This is the voltage THD in percentage, and this is a RMS voltage RMS, and this is the current THD. That we can see there is a 16.1, and our Parkour solution has measured 17.1. As you can see, there is a small change between them. This has shown that our power quality meter is sensitive than the Fluke meter. This is when we are combining the load to 100-watt bulb and one induction motor. This is the same current waveform. As you can see there, these are the components that we are measured from our meter. This is the peak current 2.558, and this is the RMS current, and this is a waveform for the visualization of the voltage. This is peak voltage, and this is the RMS voltage, and this is a mean DC between this wave, and this is a negative peak. This is for the comparison of our results. This is the power values that we are measured through our serial-based power quality analyzer. And this, as you can see, there is a low change, as small change between our power quality analyzer and existing, and between the existing power quality analyzer, which has a less flexibility and less sensitivity. This is I already told this is a waveform for the current FFT. As you can see, there is a magnitude change because of load increase and the distortion between the current between the current waveform and the voltage waveforms. These are the basically the depend upon the distortion, and as you can see there is a change in the components in between. As you can see there is a voltage EST in percentage and there is a current EST percentage. This is for the comparison of the our results with Fluke. So this is a energy measurement. We measured energy with by combining our power values with the time stamp, and because of that, we almost measured all components of the energy from. As you can see there is the result. This is the in-depth visualization of the inrush current. This is the first peak. As we can already know, there's a multiply by three times multiply by the operating current is called inrush current. This is a middle peak of the inrush current that we are visualized through our stereo based power quality analyzer. This is operating. This is a normal that we are operating our motor. This is a waveform, basically a little bit distorted. As you can see, there is a previous result. This is operating. As you can see, there is a peak and RMS decreases decreases by 3 times because of the inrush current already going through already passes with the time, and now it's operating in a normal condition. This is our another objective, detection of voltage sags in soil. Basically, sag is a reduction of voltage in between 10% and 90%. This is a establishment of sag because of various events like load shedding and a huge layer injecting. Basically, this is a flow chart for the detection of the different components like interruption, like sag and normal. When there's a less than 0.1 pu voltage, it detects as an interruption. When there is a less than 0.9% and in between 0.1 to 0.9, it detects as a sag. When there is a less than 1.1, but in between the range of not greater than 1.1, it detects as a normal condition. When there is an increase in 1.1 or 110% of our voltage, it detects as a soil. This is basically a detection of our sag events. As you can see, there's a manual event generation. A manual event generation, basically manual limits are defined by us, and this is a block. This is a predefined block of sag detection. These are the limits of IEC 60000 that we are follow in our detection. Basically, now there is another objective, voltage swell. Voltage swell is defined by IEEE 115N. The increase in the voltage by greater than by 1.1 pu. So voltage swell is almost always caused by an abrupt change in load or circuit with a poor poor or damaged voltage regulator. This is basically our detection from our serial-based power quality analyzer. As you can see here, there is a detect seg and system status said is system is a normal abnormal condition. And these are the limits I already told. These are the basically voltage events detected by our predefined block, and these are the manual limits that we are embedded through in our diagram. This is the normal condition. As you can see there, there's a system said there's a normal condition, and also this is the basically detection of basically storing the data logging that we are required. And basically, this is a flow chart starting from the global variable that we are already created in our main algorithm, and fetching through right to measure with VI, and then after giving reference path, we choose our required format like our Excel format, like Word, and then there's TXT format. But here we are taking data log as Excel file by default. This is basically code for the data logging. As you can see, there we are calling the global variables that we are created in a main algorithm. This is basically a path where our Excel file will store, and this is a right to measurement file. A file basically for the data logging, and these are the indicators for the indication of our required data. We can verify through our for the verification of the that our data successfully logged. These are basically results of data saving. As you can see, there's a energy logged of induction motor here from time to time. It become updated when it will end when we interrupt our power quality meter and stop its data logging.
We are here to demonstrate our final year project, which is CDO-based power quality analyzer. First, we are going to demonstrate through the flow graph that what our CDO-based power quality is. Then we will show the real-time devices and our human-machine interface, that how we are working on this project and how this project reacts to different loads. So first of all, we have here the flow the flow diagram of our project. Please zoom in. This is our power supply from the grid, which is connected to our input output modules and our RLC load bank. So there is a point of common coupling between the utility and the loads. So we are connecting our input output modules, which are voltage module and current module, which are directly connected to our serial. Our serial is directly connected to the power PC, which is also our human machine interface. So this is the whole system which is working on the serial based power quality analyzer. So in the end, our human machine interface will will run the algorithm of a serial based power quality analyzer in the LabVIEW firmware software. So these are all the quantities which we already discussed in our presentation, that these quantity will be calculated and they will be logged into our data logging system. So first of all, we will show this chassis. This chassis contains our serial, our input output modules, and our connection to the HMI. So this is our serial, in which FPGA is already embedded inside. So these are our voltage module and our current module. These voltage and current modules are directly connected to our utility at the back. So these input output modules get the data from our utility, which is our grid. So these collect the data, and the FPGA and serial are responsible for the connection of our human machine interface and our and our real-time data, which is being collected by our DAC card, data acquisition card, which are our voltage and current cards. So this system is whole. This chassis whole contains of our FPGA, stereo input output modules, and the connection to the utility and connection to our HMI, human machine interface. These are some types of loads which we are using to demonstrate our project. These are simple 100-watt bulbs, and this is our induction motor, which will show the linearity and non-linearity of our loads. So this whole system is comprises of this compact Creo system, human machine interface, the utility, and the loads. So this is type of connection through Ethernet, which we are connecting our stereo to our human machine interface. Further, the stereo is connected to our system through a Ethernet cable. So this system is connected through the IP address. So the IP address of stereo is matched with the IP address of our computer system. So when the IP is matched, the devices are said to be connected, and the collected data from the DAC cards is inserted into our system human machine interface, which converts the analog data into the digital form, and our LabVIEW firmware can work on that data and calculate the different values of our RMS voltage, RMS current, and voltage dips and voltage sags.
This is a basically algorithm that we are running in our LabVIEW environment. In hardware load bank, we have our linear loads that consist of the bulbs, 100-watt bulbs, and this is a non-linear loads. We running induction load, induction motor for the response of our non-linear load. This is our algorithm that we are running in our LabVIEW environment, and this is the front panel. This is from this we set IP of our stereo that matching with our for the matching with our LabVIEW. This is a Rio device connected with our FPGA direct that process our data from IO modules. These are the methods for configuration of our FPGA target. This is a data rate settings. From there we set our data rate. On that rate we get our data from our IO module. These are invoke methods that we are using for the interfacing our IO our FPGA targets and the video devices. These are basically the methods for FIFO initialization. These methods ensure that we get data into a periodical form. These are the waveform creation. Their input is data and their output is a waveform. And these are the harmonic measurement, and this is the indicator that are showing our harmonic in percentage. This is a 100 multiplier. From there we get a percentage measurement of our DHT. This is the frequency function that will showing our frequency that we are in that we are currently measured. And this is a power function that will show our power values like reactive, active, and apparent power. This is a couple. This is used for our elimination of DC components. As you can see, there is AC coupling, and this is a vector, finding a vector components from our waveform. This is a spectral measurement of our current and our voltage. These are our components of the spectrum, FFT spectrum. This is a power for our energy measurement. This is the interval length. This is for use for our energy changing. From that interval, our energy will update
and this is a global variables that we are used for our data logging. From there, data will load into our relevant file like Excel, Word, and etc. like TXT format. These are the fundamental frequency measurement. These are the functions used for our different measurement of current and voltage, like peak current, RMS current, mean DC. These are again uh, uh, global variables. This is a Fourier transform. From there, we get voltage if 50 magnitude and current if 50 magnitudes. Again, these are the functions that we are used for our detection of dip swells and interruption. This is a zero crossing detection. This is the RMS measurement, and this is a dip swell interruption detection. These are the indicators. These are the relevant settings of our functions. These are the basically the manual event generation. In case we are not using IEC limits and we want to implement our own limits that we want to detect our events, and these are the strings messages, and these are the case selectors for our event, and these are the indicators that are showing our when our event is generated. This is a demonstration of our project. Basically, I am currently running a bulb load for simple, just for a simple demonstration. These are the components of our waveforms. The peak current, RMS current showing 0.431, and this is a peak current 360, and this is RMS voltage 227, mean DC voltage and peak voltage. These are the respective waveform of our gate supply voltage and current and voltage. This is the power measurement for our bulb, energy measurement of our bulb, and this is the interval length for our updating our energy. This is the harmonic analysis. This is the measurement of current and voltage THD in percentage. Current at 50 magnitude, voltage at 50 magnitude, and the detection of fundamental frequency. This is a safe detection. As we can see, the system is a normal condition, so it shows a system is in normal condition, and no swell and no swelling or no interruption are occurring and on that time. And this is there is a no rapid voltage changing in our supply, so it shows none. If a detection will occur, it will indicate a rapid voltage changing. This is a system configuration, REO device. This is a host loop updated. This is currently we are operating at a 2 kilo per second from A99244. In that case, data FIFO will not full, so it remains off. So this is a demonstration. In case you have any question, you may ask from our different communication channel. Thank you.